So today our first official class, Amazon EC2, Elastic Compute Cloud. So introduction to Amazon EC2, benefits, use cases, features, instance types, pricing, lab exercise. So EC2 is a elastic web service that provides resizable compute capacity in the cloud. I already explained to you EC2 instance is nothing but a server. Remember that point. Everybody will confuse what is EC2, what is EC2. Amazon EC2 is nothing but instance. Instance is nothing but a server, virtual server that provides a resizable capacity. It is a web service and configure capacity with minimal friction. Minimum friction means minimum hardware onwards, high-end hardware. The instances are available. It provides the complete control of your computing resources. And also it reduces the time required to obtain booting the new servers. Within minutes, you can boot your server. So you can quickly scale up and scale capacity up and down for your computing requirement changes. So EC2 charges changes the economics of computing by allocating pay only for capacity that usage. It provides developers the tools to build failure resilient applications and isolate them from component failures. So like some load balancers, whatever it may be, we are going to configure. So benefits of EC2, web scaling computing. So you can decrease and increase the capacity within minutes, not hours or days. Hundreds or even thousands of server instances simultaneously because this is all controlled by web services. Your application can automatically scale itself up and down depending upon its needs. Completely controlled. So like you have a Gmail account, completely control of you only. Like you have a root access to each one. For example, whenever you create account, you can have the complete root access. You can interact with them as you would any machine. So any machine you can launch in EC2, you can interact them. You can stop your instances. You can retain your data on the boot partition when you stopped. So you can reboot the instances remotely. Flexible cloud hosting services. So multiple instance types, operating systems with the software packages. It allows you to select a configuration of memory, usage, CPU, internal storage, everything you can select. So by default, boot partition size they will allocate to you with operating system. Your choice of operating system like Linux distributions and Microsoft Windows servers. Designed for use with other Amazon Web services. Like you can conjunction with S3 storage, Amazon relational database services, simple database services, simple queue services, and complete control of your computing, query processing and storage across a wide of range applications. Reliable, 99.95% of availability is there. Inexpensive also. How much resources you paid, that much of money only how to pay. And also you can have purchasing options. That is we are going to discuss. Secure. So you can make it secure your EC2 instances by configure your own virtual private cloud. Generally, your organization, my organization, everybody organizations, they can come into the cloud, they can launch the servers. But how do you secure your server means? So you can set up your own VPC, I can set up my own VPC. You cannot communicate my servers, I cannot communicate your servers. Like you can provide security for your servers. In Amazon cloud, you can expose some servers to the internet and some are remaining you have to keep in private. This is practically we are going to see in our classes. And the security groups and the network ACLs allow you to control inbound and outbound rules. So you can connect your own existing IT infrastructure, whatever the resources you want to use in your VPC using industry standard encrypted IPsec VPN connections. So you can also take dedicated connections, dedicated instances. Dedicated instances are Amazon EC2 instances that run on hardware dedicated to a single customer. While launching, I will explain you that one. If you don't have a default VPC, you must create a VPC and launch instance into the VPC. You can keep your servers on private subnets. Outbound security group filtering also. So how which people can access your servers can access which servers. So we have to write the rules, incoming rules, outgoing rules. And the network ACLs. Particular network only can communicate, particular network cannot communicate. That is also we can write the network ACLs. So types of instances here, on-demand instances. So on-demand instances means immediately how to launch the instance, hourly how to pay the money. No long-term commitment. For example, for 15 days, use that server, so you have to terminate it. How much money utilized, that much money only have to pay. This frees you from the costs and complexities of planning, purchasing, and maintaining hardware, and it transforms what are commonly large fixed costs into much smaller. See, on-demand instance means immediately I can launch instance. Only one day I worked on the instance, so my work is completed, I can terminate it. How much resources I utilized, that much money only I have to pay. No long-term commitment. Reserved instances. These are significant discounts will come up to 75% compared to on-demand. That is how I can explain. So I have internet connection. Every month I am paying 600 rupees. So how many days or how many months I am utilizing, that much money only I have to pay. If I don't want to require the connection, immediately I can disconnect that. That is on demand. But I am not giving commitment them. I am going to use this internet connection for 1 year or 2 years. But reserved instances are there. For example, last 2 years onwards, I am using ACT FiberNet. One day they called me, we are giving 50% discount once you pay the money at a time, 1 year money. So I can pay the money. So because for 1 year I am paying to 7,200 rupees, but they are just to give me 3,600 rupees only for 1 year if I pay at a time. So that type of instances are also available. But when you can decide if our company is standardly going on, so we can go for that one. But if it is your startup company, you don't know whether the company is going to be successful or not. In that time, I cannot take commitment 1 year or 2 years. So depending upon requirement, you can go for on-demand or reserved instances. Next, spot instances. This is like bid. So you know share market. There is a bidding will come. If the particular share will come to this price, allocate the shares to me. Like spot instances allows customers to bid on unused Amazon EC2 capacity and run those instances for as long as their bid exceeds the current spot price. For example, I need this type of instance with Linux with Ansible. If the price will come 50 rupees per hour. So if it is come for that particular bid what you given, they will allocate. But who are using, sir, who are paying 55 rupees, so immediately they will stop your bid, they will allocate to that person. Like that, spot instances also we can use. How to use EC2 instances? There is a pre-configured templates. Already ready-made templates are available. They are called Amazon machine images to get up and running immediately. Or create an Amazon AMI containing your applications. So you can develop one application on server, you can make it one image. That is also you can use. Configuring security and network access while launching instance. Choose the instance type you want, then start and terminate and monitor as many instances as you required using the web applications. Whether you want to run multiple locations or same locations, you can log in, you can launch instances. Pay only for the resources that you actually consume, like instance hours or data transfer rate. Features: Amazon Elastic Block Storage. After launching your instance, if you require more storage, so you can create the Elastic Block Storage volumes you can attach to the instances. Optimized instances. So low and hourly fees. Customers can launch selected Amazon EC2 instances types, EBM, EBS optimized. Multiple locations. So EC2 provides the ability to place instances in multiple locations. Amazon EC2 locations are composed of regions and availability zones. Yesterday demo class I already explained you. A region is nothing but a geographical location. In each region we have availability zone, and availability zone is nothing but a data center. So every availability zone is isolated. By launching instances in separate availability zones, you can protect your applications from failure. So already I see there is important instances are there. I can launch and available instances, availability zones. If one data center is down, I can access the server from other availability zone. Elastic IP address. See, one demo class completed, two demo classes. This is first class.
Sir,
Uh,
I haven't done the demo classes. I think you said two demo classes completed.
the demo class also same like only the demo class they will send video link they will send.
Okay, sir. Please
That
tell them to give me the demo
yeah,
classes. I will
demo
do that.
demo class video they will send to you. Okay, link
Okay,
will
sir.
come
Okay,
to you.
thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. That's
So Amazon Virtual Private Cloud, just now I explained you. So you can launch your own instances. You can configure own subnets. You can configure private subnet, public subnets, custom routing tables, and internet gateways, subnets. So that whatever the VPC you configured, that is also you can connect with your corporate center data centers by using the VPN connections. CloudWatch. In demo, whatever the topics we discussed, they are only given here. CloudWatch already explained, it is a monitoring tool. So whatever going on your AWS services, CPU utilizations, disk reads per second, writes per second, network traffic, auto scaling groups, elastic load balancing. Already in demo class, already explained this, all services. Same again, they repeated here. Storage instances, export, import, export, AWS marketplace. So these are the types of instances. T2, T3, M5, M4, C4, C3, R3, memory optimized, GPU, storage optimized, dense storage. So like how we are having Dell laptop, Lenovo laptop, different hardware type. Depending upon your requirement, you are buying the money. Sorry, you are buying the hardware like IBM hardware, HP hardware, Dell hardware, Samsung laptops. Like here also they measured different types of instances, different hardware types. So this is
So what is
pricing.
M3? Can you please explain the M3? What does it mean?
Which one?
M5 and M4.
So those are the names.
Is there
Name
any
of the memory
significance?
based instances.
Okay.
There is no significant. They given some names. T2 dot
Like how
micro.
like how do you choose that? Like, is there any rule you can choose this instance or that instance?
That is depending upon. I will show you while launching.
Okay.
Capacity will use 2 processors, 8 GB RAM, 4 processors, 16 GB RAM. Models like models.
Got it. Got it. Thank you.
So Amazon EC2 pricing. So free tier eligible. 750 hours of EC2 running Linux RHL. SLES means SUSE Linux Enterprise Server T2.micro instances. 750 hours EC2 running Microsoft Windows Server T2.micro. Elastic load balancing 15 GB data processing free of cost. 30 GB of elastic block storage, any combination of general purpose SSD or magnetic drives. 2 million IOs with magnetic and 1 GB of snapshot storage. 15 GB of bandwidth out aggregated across all the AWS services. So 1 GB of regional data transfers. These are free tier. So apart from this, remaining are chargeable. So these are not. This is the data, how much money we are going to charge data transfer purpose. This is a CloudWatch region, US region, detailed monitoring purpose, how much dollars they are charging. CloudWatch custom metrics, $0.50 cents. Amazon CloudWatch application interfaces, $0.01% per 1,000 metrics. CloudWatch logs this much of pricing they are giving. Auto scaling. Auto scaling is enabled CloudWatch and carries no additional fees. Each instance launched by auto scaling is automatically enabled for monitoring, and applications Amazon CloudWatch charges will be applied. For load balancing, 0.025 cents per elastic load balancer per hour. For example, North Virginia, this is. So, whenever we configure load balancer, if 1 hour we are keeping the servers, they will charge 25%. $0.08 per GB for data transfer between the elastic load balancers. The data is going to be transferred. For that, they are charging. Now, this is PEM format file. PEM format. Privacy enhanced mail is base 64 encoded DER certificate. DER means distinguished encoding rules. PEM certificates are frequently used for web servers as they can easily be translated into readable data using a simple text editor. Generally, when a PEM encoded file is opened in a text editor, it contains a very distinct headers and footers. So there is a code communication between one location to another location, like a authentication key. For example, we are logging to our instance from our local computer. So you must have the PEM format file to download into your local computer, local laptop. What is PPK file? File created by a PuttyGen software known as PPK files. These files are used to enable communication securely with other party having the corresponding public key. So PPK files contains information about the file authentication, which they have usually serve as the computer's market that could you allow the recognition and utilization of the files using PuTTY software. For example, Windows to Windows login. Windows to Windows login means cloud. I launched one Windows server. Whenever you are launched Windows server, you have to select one file. It's a PPK file. But by using the PPK file, you cannot launch a Linux server because Linux will not support PPK format. Linux supports PEM format. But how do you convert the PEM file format to PPK file? Linux supports PPK format. So we have to convert PEM format to PPK format. Today class only I am going to show you. The PuTTY software is the main application using PPK files. This application is useful for SSH and Telnet. If users want to authenticate PPK files, they need to choose the connection SSH authentication, which can be found PuTTY configuration menu. Then you can browse. Then you can give your private key for authentication. Then log into your Unix systems from Windows. And Windows to Unix or Mac OS. This is EC2 instances. Now,
Sorry to interrupt you. So what is the elastic load balancer?
elastic load balancer means there is a heavy load on one server.
Okay.
For example, you have a flipkart.com site is there. On Wednesday, there is a heavy load on that server. So that much of incoming request it cannot access that server. So what there is a heavy traffic. So the one server should not be accept that much of hardware. What it was a server, what it may be, it will redirect the traffic to another instance. Means balancing the load.
Okay. Which means another server taking care of the request.
It's take the load.
Okay. Okay.
See, generally in our road traffic, you can see if there is a heavy load, traffic is jam. What they will do, traffic police, they will clear the load between wherever the nearest routes are there. They will route the traffic. Then they will clear the traffic. Types of instances, already explained, again explaining. How many types of instances are there in AWS? 8 family of instance type, which is classifying to their use cases. Instance terms compromise varying combination of CPU, memory, storage, depending upon network capacity. For flexibility to choose the approximate mix of resources of your applications. General purpose instance, compute optimized, memory optimized, accelerated computing, storage optimized. So general purpose. So these instances provide a balance of compute, memory, and networking resources, can be used for a variety of diverse workloads. These instances are ideal for applications that uses resources in equal proportions of such as web servers and code repositories. Use cases, scale out workloads such as web servers, containerized microservices, caching files, and distributed data stores, as well as development environments. This type of instances, initial instances. Compute optimized. These are for high performance computing like batch processing workloads, media transcoding, high performance web servers, this type of instances they will use. Memory optimized, these are databases purpose they will use. So memory optimized instances are designed for delivery fast performance workloads that process large data sets in memory. Memory intensive applications such as open source databases, memory caches, and real-time big data analytic. Accelerated computing instances are used. Hardware accelerated co-processors to perform functions such as floating point number calculations, graphing processing, data pattern matching more efficiently than is possible in software running on CPUs. Machine learning, deep learning, high performance computing. So computational fluid dynamics, computational finance, seismic analytic, speech recognition servers, autonomous vehicles, drug discovery purpose, this type of computing. Storage optimized. So storage optimized is for NoSQL Server database, Cassandra, MongoDB, Redis in memory databases. So this type of instances storage optimized. So as per your requirement, you can launch instances. So what are instances in AWS? Instances in AWS are basically virtual environments. These virtual environments are isolated from the underlying base on OS. It's an on-demand service. Users can rent the virtual servers on an hourly basis and deploy their applications on it. Is EC2 is a virtual machine. Elastic Compute Cloud Instance is a virtual server that you can use to run applications in Amazon Web3 service. When setting up an EC2 instance, you can custom configure CPU, storage, memory, and networking services. When you create an instance, you can create with an Amazon machine image. So these disk types we are going to use in our Elastic Block Storage, general purpose SSD, throughput optimized, and magnetic. PEM file just now explained you, star.pem, star.ppk file. Now how to launch instances? So memory optimized means based on your memory compute optimized. It depends on CPU. CPUs, number of CPUs. Here memory optimized means much memory how to use. Means while launching instances, we have CPU utilizations and memory utilizations, which you required. That is memory optimized.
So, Srinivas, sorry to interrupt. So
Yeah.
both are same, right? Like compute optimized in the sense you are using more CPUs. That means you are having more memory into the
High
system, right?
performance processors you are going to use, compute optimized. Memory
So that
optimized means high memory utilized. See, CPU processor utilization is different, memory utilization is different.
okay.
Understand? CPU processor, it see we have one processor but 15 GB CPU. I have 10 processors, only 8 GB memory. Understand?
Okay, it means the number of CPU that you are going to use in compute optimized,
Yes.
right? Where in case of one CPU can have more memory, that is called memory
Memory.
optimized. Got
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Thanks.
Next, launching instances. Go to your AWS Management Console account. So everybody, we can create an account like Gmail account, sign into the console. Like we can create a new AWS account. Anybody wants to create first time. Here you can give your email account, password, confirm password, your account name. Then some steps you have to give the answer like address, your debit card number. You have to register one code. So they will charge 2 rupees. Again, they will credit to your account. Then by using that account, every day you have to log into your existing account. So every day you are logging as a root user. You are the account holder. So give the username.
Srinivas, is it chargeable or free services?
Free account, 1 year.
Okay.
Hi, Srinivas. If somebody already has utilized the free account, then what will be the next case?
Free account.
Already created free account and it was over a year before.
So up to 1 year you can utilize. After completing, you can change your
The
email, create
validity
another,
of that account is now over.
or no, create another account, change your email ID.
Only the mail ID.
You can create a new mail ID, you can create another account.
Okay.
This is my 6th account. See, log into your AWS management console, go to services. Here, first one, compute services. Click on EC2 instances. So here running instances 0, Elastic IP 0, key pair 17, previously security groups 125, already my classes. Click on running instances, or left side you have option instances, both anyone. Click on running instances. Now launch instance. See, already predefined servers are available, just you are launching, that's all. See, here you can see Amazon has one Linux. Here AMI code, every instance has Amazon image machine codes are there. And Amazon Linux 2 comes with 5-year support. It provides Linux kernel tuned for optional performance on Amazon S2. So description they are giving. So systems 219 GCC, which main software packages they are including, they are giving here. Next, this is the Amazon S3 successor of the Amazon Linux is approaching end of the life. December 31st, 2020 has been removed from this wizard. So that is now Red Hat Enterprise Linux.
So what is this root device type?
Root device means while launching one instance, automatically they will allocate some storage. That is root device.
Okay.
Now I will show you. Now it will come. The step will come.
Okay. Okay.
Now Red Hat Enterprise Linux 8. SUSE Enterprise Linux server with Apache, MySQL, PHP, and Ruby all are available by default. So like this, what you require, you can launch the server. So first I am selecting Amazon Linux. Click on select. Here T2 dot micro family, T3, T4, C4. See here number of CPUs, memory, number of CPUs, memory, number of CPUs, memory, C4 extra large. So depending upon capacity of your servers, how much resources are required, you can launch. So fleet remaining all are chargeable, I am telling you. So T22 micro, these micro instances are eligible for the AWS free tier usage for the first 12 months following of on your account date. You can get up to 750 hours of micro instances each month. When your free tier usage tier expires, or if your free tier usage exceeds your free tier restrictions, you pay the money. So your account will be continue, but you have to pay the money as per their rates. Above free tier usage eligibility and restrictions also there. So this is only how to practice every day. Here see currently selected T22 micro, one CPU, 2.5 gigahertz speed, 1 GB memory, 1 EBS volume will come to you. Okay, next they are providing EBS only, not optimized. Default network performance low to moderate, IPv6 support yes. Next, configure instance details. See how many instances do you want to launch? One instance only. Purchase option. So you can, if you want to purchase, request spot instances. AP South 1A availability zone $0.0037 current price is there. So this is chargeable. But honestly, we are going
So
to.
Srinivas, like
Yeah.
if you want to make number of instances like 1, 2, 3, like 4, 5, can we make that one like?
Yeah, you can make it here.
Okay. Okay.
The instances at launch.
Okay.
Because in coming days, we are going to configure auto scaling groups. For that purpose, one by one launch. For example, I am going to show you auto scaling group or elastic load balancer. I require 2, 3 instances. So individually creating, here only you can launch 3 instances at a time.
Okay. Okay.
Now I am unchecking this.
Srinivas, sorry to interrupt you. Let's say I have launched one instance with 1 GB RAM. Okay. I have launched it. Now I thought of no, 1 GB is not sufficient for me. I wanted to make it 5 GB RAM. So with the same instance, can I make the change, or do I need to terminate that instance and again start a new instance?
You can terminate it. You can go for that is for only memory. You have to change the instance.
So
Memory
I have to terminate it and again create a new instance, right?
A new instance, yes.
Okay.
Then what, like, then the question is there, Srinivas, like whatever the things we have hosted on that server, so those will go on, right? Again, we need to configure everything.
Sorry.
What I'm saying is, if you terminate that instance, and if you increase the memory and create a new instance, then whatever
Generally,
task that
you have to stop it. You have to stop the instance. Terminate means completely go. Stop the instance, again launch the new instance, then you can transfer the data, then you can launch that instance. New instance, important data is you can transfer it.
Understood. So, okay, got it.
Terminate means completely data will come. Like you can launch a new instance with 5 GB, and you move the data, whatever it may be. Okay.
So Srinivas, like once we stop that instance, means that will be charging like hours?
Charging hours.
Oh, it is going to charge, right? Hours for the server?
Chargeable.
Okay.
Next, network. By default, everybody, once you created a account, default VPC, they will allocate, Amazon people, everybody. Once you create the account, default VPC, they are going to be allocated to you, virtual private cloud. So afterwards, we have a concept is there, our own VPC, we are going to configure. This is default VPC. This is Hyderabad VPC, previous class I created, I am not deleted, I think. Next to subnets. Subnets means already told you, different availability zones. In Mumbai, we have 3 availability zones are there. So if you want to select any one of the availability zone, you can select as per your wish. Or else if you want to make it to default no preference, automatically they will launch from any one of the availability zone. That is as per your requirement. Next, auto assign public IP should be enabled.
What is subnet, Srinivas?
A subnet is nothing but one availability zone. For example, you have 3 data centers are there. 3 data centers have 3 subnets are there. Subnet means network ID. See, that is you can understand in network part. Your network is going to be divided. That is called subnets. For example, you have a series of the IP addresses 172.116. Series to 172.31 series is there. I can subnet them. So say 172.16 one subnet, 172.31 one subnet, 172.0.0 one subnet. So which subnet you want to use, you can select the subnet. For
Okay.
example,
So
we have a,
why to
we have
use
a,
subnet? Like, what is the main purpose of subnet?
we are not coming to that class. That is, we are going to discuss in VPC class. Understand?
Okay.
Create a new subnet. For example, I am telling creating a new subnet. Okay, here that this is a big class. So what is, we are creating your own VPC. Okay, then after creating VPC, you have to create a subnet name. You have to say create, you can give your own subnetwork network ID. So that is your own subnet you are going to create. That is the reason I told you. That is a big class. But Amazon people, they are providing their default subnets to us. So this is
Okay.
a big class we are going to discuss in VPC. What is private subnet? What is public subnet? What is the subnet IDs we are going to take? Which subnet IDs we are going to select? That is a big class, network class, that one. Okay, by default, you have to use your default subnets. So dividing the network into parts is nothing but a subnet.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Auto assign public IP should be enabled, because from your laptop system you are going to log into your cloud instance, but you need a public IP, otherwise you cannot log in. So by default that is enabled. So placement groups, not yet created any placement groups, just leave it. We are going to select next what is placement groups in next classes. Capacity reservation open, non-target by group, target by group ID. These are also not yet discussed. Next classes will come. Leave it defaults. Domain join directory, no domains. If you want to create a domain join directories, you can create. If you have a domain in your cloud environment, you can create a domain environment. No domain. IAM rules. We not yet created any IAM users. Next classes will come. Identity access management. So you can create your own IAM users. You can give the permission to them to access the instance. Shutdown behavior is stop or terminate. generally stop, shutdown behavior. Enable hibernation is the additional stop behavior. So if you are not using from last 10 minutes or 15, automatically hibernate mode will come. This is protect against accidental termination. But generally, in practice purpose, I am telling you, maybe real time also, accidentally if you terminate it, entire your data is going to be gone. So that is the reason some important database servers, you can make it protect against termination. While you are terminate, it will give the message, this is not terminated, it is a terminated protection is enabled, please disable it, then protect. Enable monitoring. So by default, cloud people will provide 5 minutes of free of monitoring of your resources. If you check the box, enable CloudWatch detailed monitoring, this is chargeable. This is every minute monitoring, this is chargeable. Don't check this box. Tenancy. Run a shared hardware instance. Shared hardware means this is my physical laptop. I installed VMware Workstation. So this much of machines already I created. All these machines are using my laptop hardware only. Means already they have physical server is there. On that they configured so many virtual machines. So that shared hardware instance you want to launch or not? This is asking the question. Additional charges will apply for the dedicated tenancy. Dedicated, I want to run a dedicated instance. Completely dedicated host, I want to buy server from AWS. That is also chargeable. So generally practice purpose, we are going for running a shared hardware instance.
Here we are launching only one instance, right? So what is the significance of selecting shared instance, run a shared hardware instance?
Shared hardware instance, for not understanding, Amazon people has many servers.
Okay.
They have on that server, they are not going to install only one instance. Hundreds of instances are there. From there, one server you are taking.
Got it.
The remaining, leave it. That is metadata and the database, everything that is remaining, you can leave it. Now, review and launch. This is T2.micro, vCPU, memory, EBS, only what we selected. Sorry, one step going to previous. So this is completed. So add storage. This is by default when you launch Linux installs, they will provide a root device. Here technical word we are using root volume. By default Linux root volume is 8 GB. General purpose SSD. This is IO operations per second. 3 IOPS per GB with a minimum of 100 IOPS. Burstable size is 300 IOPS maximum capacity. Throughput MBS not applicable here. Delete and termination. If you uncheck this box, if you delete your instance also, your volume is safe. Only instance will be deleted, your data is safe. So by default, I am giving this delete and termination only because every day you are practicing. If you uncheck this, the volumes will be stored in your computer. If 30 GB space is crossed, they will be charged. That is the reason I am putting delete and termination. Real times we are going to uncheck it. by default root volume is not encrypted. This is, remember, the root volume type. Sorry, the default root volume of Linux instance size is 8 GB. Now add tags. Add tag. Name. Linux server. Any name you can give. I am giving Linux server. Configure security group. This is like firewall. Incoming rules. So who can access your Linux server? Through SSH only anybody can access my Linux server. Remaining rules I can, depending upon my requirement, I can write the rules. In coming classes, we are going to use some rules here. So by default, whenever you want to log in Linux server, you need SSH. That is compulsory rule by default you have to use. For protocol TCP port number 22, from anywhere you can log in. Review and launch. Launch instance. Launch instances. Sorry. Here we have to create a new key pair. New instances, because key pair, new key pair I have to select. New instance I am launching. Here key pair. Generally, daily I am selecting choose an existing key pair. Here, whatever the key pairs already is there, I am selecting. First time, when you launch instance in your account, first time, you have to create one pair. So select here, create a new key pair. This is public key. This public key stores on AWS. So this is, you have to download as a private key. Create a new key pair name. New 12 p.m. Sorry, new 8 a.m. key. Download the key pair. So new 8 a.m. PEM file, PEM format, just now explained, primary enhanced mail. Download this key pair. Again select here. Choose an existing key pair. Just now we created new 8 p.m. key, 8 a.m. Select the key, acknowledge, launch instance. View instances. Running state. Now select instance. You can check here details. What we selected here, will show the details. PPCID, platform details, usage option, running instance, T2 or T3 unlimited disable, false, root device type is EBS volume, root device name, block device name, capacity reservation not there. So owner ID, here IPv4 public IP, availability zone AP South 1B, security groups. This group automatically when we launch given. Here you can check inbound rules and outbound routes, scheduled events, no scheduled events, merge and machine image ID, what they are allocated to you, subnet ID, network interface ETH0 by default Linux ID, key pair name, new 8 AM key. Owner means your account number. When you launch the time, so less than 1 hour only, just now we launched. Here you can check the hours. So this is the information. Now, how to log into your Linux server instance? Copy the public IP. Now go to your local system. PEM file will not support by Linux to log into the server, because from Windows I am logging to my Linux instance. We have to convert the PEM file format into PuTTY format. For that you need to download PuTTY Gen 64-bit software. PuTTY generator. You can go to your Google, you can type download PuTTY Gen. Download PuTTY Gen. Download the PuTTY Gen software, then you can install that small software, install. Now open PuTTY Gen. Here carefully see, everybody do mistake here, confuse. Download PuTTY Gen. Click on load. Here right side see select all files, or else where downloaded you can go to there. Select all files. Here new Linux PM, new 8 PM selected. That is PEM format file. This one, this is PEM format. This file now we are converting into PPK. Double click on this. So successfully imported foreign key old PEM format to PuTTY format. So click on OK. Click on save private key. Somebody they are saving public key, it will not work. Save private key. Yes. So here new 8 PM PEM formatted is there. So remove PEM here, make it PPK. Click on save. File close. Click on exit. Now open PuTTY. Give the public IP which we configured. Expand SSH. Select authentication. Click on browse. Now here you can select all PEM files, PPK files are there. New 8 PM. New 8 PM PPK file. Double click on this. Click on open. Yes. So default username of Linux instance login EC2-user. EC2-user. So now it log in as administrator sudo space su. As your wish, whatever the commands you want to give in Linux, touch creating files, directories, whatever it may be, you can do.
Srinivas, can you just repeat the last one, like putty, when you log into putty, right? Just can you just close this one and just can you repeat this one?
Login from Putin.
Yeah, putty.
Open putty. Okay. Give your public IP. Okay. Here there is option expand SSH.
Okay.
Select authentication.
Okay.
Click on browse.
Okay.
Select the key.
Okay.
Then open.
Okay.
Then log into here.
So Srinivas, the PEM is not supported in Putty, right? So anyway, we need to convert it to PPK.
Yes.
Okay.
Because if it is Windows, no need to convert. See, Windows to Windows, no need to convert.
Yeah, if it is a Windows, then we are going to use through the virtual desktop, right? RDP.
Windows RDP. While RDP you are login, you have to select PEM file also.
Yes, yeah.
Tomorrow I will show you Windows Server instance.
Got it.
Okay. So if you Windows also, you have to select the key. But Windows, while you are launching Windows, you have to select a PEM format. Then they will give one password to you. Then only you can log in.
Okay.
Tomorrow I will launch Windows Server instance. Tomorrow session, tomorrow I am going to launch Linux instance. I will configure one web server. That web server you can access from your side.
So Srinivas, I have one question here. Like, so tomorrow, if you are going to launch a new instance, in that time also we need to create a keys again, same procedure. Whatever.
That is one time. That is
Okay, I
one
can
time.
use the okay.
So say my laptop means every day I am taking classes. That is the reason. After every class I am going to show to create the keys. But from your side, one key is enough.
Okay.
How many instances you log in? That is authenticated for your system only. For every instance, no need to launch.
So once we generate that PPK file, is that fine? That we can use the same file for the putty login.
You can have two files, one PEM file, PPK. Windows use PEM file, Linux use PPK file. That's all. Every day, no need to generate the keys. Understand? So I am terminating them. So log protect against termination I given. So while you are terminating, it will not terminate. See, I protected. So previously not protected, terminated. How to terminate it? Select this, click on actions, instance settings. Here there is option change termination for protection. Make it disable. Then only you can terminate. As terminate. Like
so if you do this, then we're losing the data, right? The data, whatever is stored in the instance.
Yes. See, terminate means the complete data is gone.
Okay.
Stop
so if you want
means,
to
so here, like shutdown, stop. Tomorrow again you can launch it.
Got it.
Terminate means completely I am termination. Because today you practice some example. Today you practice something in Linux. Again, we want to continue the practice. You can make it stop.
Yeah, but if I make it to stop, it will be counted in hours, right? Like these hours will also come counted. Yeah, if I wanted to move this data to one of the new instance that I'm going to create after some time, I can do that, right? Like from this instance to another instance.
you can do that time what you can do, you can make it your volume. You can make it your volume. Keep there, attach the volume to next instance.
Okay.
So delete against termination, that volume delete option I showed you. Uncheck the delete volume. Means if I terminated this one, my volumes are also terminated.
Yes.
For example, I'm showing you my volumes are terminated. So this is Linux volume. I am not terminated. Last class I showed them. So for example, like this, you can keep your volume. This volume you can attach the new instance, and you can keep your data there.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Yeah.
Thank you all. Tomorrow I will configure, I will launch one Linux instance. I will set up one web server. That web server you can access from your web browsers. And Windows Server instance how to launch. Then we are going to discuss how to assign elastic IP address and block storage if there is a time. Okay.
Srinivas, can you share that PPT and the document?
I will share they are not send me any mails who joined. Today I will confirm them and I will send.
Okay, because we have paid the fees, that's it.
Yeah, we will send. By afternoon I will send.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
Thank you.